Good morning, campers. We're going to do another divine masculine reading today, just as we did yesterday, because it's eclipse season. It's going to be quite rough for our masculine, so I want to do another collective. We're going to do exactly the same. So if today's one doesn't resonate, you can check yesterday's one and in yesterday's one I explained in the intro a little bit about the eclipse, and I also posted a video on my YouTube about this, so it's going to be an intense season. If you're interested, you can check that out. But yeah, let's give it a start. So just like yesterday, we're going to start from what have you been working on right now? What is in your energy when it comes to your growth, your expansion, your shadow work, whether that's consciously or subconsciously? And if that resonates, we're gonna tap into your energy and what's coming in that eclipse season. What you're currently working on, what's in your energy. Okay. Two more. What? I want two more, one more. One more, okay. One more. What do we have? We have, who is this divine masculine? Number 65. We have number 50, behind the mask. I'm really guided to read through this one. 21, unboxing abundance, and master of destiny or victim of faith. 36. Okay, I want to read through this behind the mask because I feel like for this collective it's going to be important. For a very long time, you didn't feel comfortable in your own skin. You didn't feel you would be accepted or cherished if you were to show the world the real you. You have been masking your feelings, desires, your true self out of fear of being judged or ridiculed. It's time for the mask to drop. Through journey of healing, we learn that our authenticity is the unique frequency of our soul, and it will never be rejected by the divine nor by our soul's connections. It is the magnetic power that pulls in your destined path, that pulls you into your destined path. Speak your truth, feel your feelings, be you authentically, unapologetically, and with childlike joy. You are pure magic. We talk about this a lot, that for a very long time, subconsciously, without you knowing, the divine masculine, the feminine as well in the beginning, but for longer, it lasts longer for the masculine, you wear a mask, right? Because of the wounding of the past, wounding of your childhood, you suppressed the real you, the true you, the one that sits in a heart space, right? And you started to sort of be who people wanted you to be. That mask is the armor, right? That creates a false persona that protects the real us that been hurt and that been neglected in childhood, ridiculed as well in childhood. I was really looking at that ridicule. So maybe you've been a little bit bullied when you were a child, or maybe you were, was someone that was very like artistic, sensitive, maybe even sensual, and you've been surrounded by quite of a toxic masculine environment. So those qualities of yours, they've been bullied and they've been ridiculed. So that's also the reason that it's like you're really dropping right now. You're dropping the mask. But it's nice energy. So right now you would be thinking about, you would be focusing about on your career and on your path. That's what I'm hearing with this abundance. So you would want something better for yourself right now, right? So your focus would be on abundance, on having a good life. We have that master of destiny and victim of fate. You would also start to think, again, for a very long time, the masculines, you do believe in destiny, you do believe in fate, but you think that you're a victim of this viciousness of the universe, that certain things are out of your reach, that certain things will never happen to you. And there's a moment that you realize that although certain things are destined, because your higher self, before incarnating, plans this life, through how you react to these things, through how you grow, how you transform, you change and you become the master of your destiny, right? Because becoming a master of your destiny, it's not, it's a misconception, especially there's so much nonsense about manifestations online. It's not that you snap and you create whatever you want when you're master manifester. It just means that you enter in a state of ultimate complete gratitude for everything that you have, and through this gratitude you attract more and more good things because you change your perspective on this world. This is how you become the master of your destiny, right? So you would be thinking about right now, how can you change certain things through how you approach them, through the choices that you make, maybe also through following your own path, following the path of your own abundance, right? And of your own, not abundance, of your own authenticity. So maybe you've also been having recently a lot of thoughts that you really aren't the person that you present to be, that you spend time maybe with some friends at work, that you really say things and do things that you don't really even believe in, right? So I'm hearing a lot of contemplation, but with this divine masculine, you would be thinking about this. Maybe maybe you're consciously on a journey, or I don't feel this collective you have full belief just yet, but you would have heard the concept of, divine love, divine feminine, divine masculine. So maybe you're thinking, and remember we've mentioned with that mask that maybe you had a lot of distorted men, distorted masculine models in your life. So maybe you're starting to sort of contemplate, what does it mean to be a true man? I want to read through this. The pillars of divine masculine are truth, commitment, loyalty, humbleness, power, and integrity. True divine masculine understands the responsibility and importance of his role in this physical world. You are the builders of our reality. The physical world is your dominion. The divine masculine is the protector and the provider. He recognizes the equality of the masculine and the feminine and fosters inspiration and collaboration instead of domination and competition. He is a leader that is compassionate, reliable, trustworthy, and authentic. He is the protector of feminine heart, universal values, and divine order. I was hearing that maybe you've been realizing recently that you have a lot of men in your energy that actually don't like women, that actually hate women. A lot of men hate women, and it's truly the issue of today's world. And vice versa, a lot of women, they say that they want relationship, but they constantly nagging on men. Men are this, men are that, men are like children, men are so, oh my god, they would be no one without us, like directing their life. And it's distorted feminine, it's controlling. True divine feminine, true divine masculine, you accept the equality. There's no place for you and us. We're one. We're just embracing our differences, right? We lead with our feminine, you lead with your masculine, but we all have both. Right? True divine is inner union of the both internally, right? So maybe you're realizing that something is off. It's like there's a part of you that craves love. There's a part of you that, longs for your feminine, but in the same time you surround yourself, with people. It's a complete game changer when men start to surround themselves with men who love women. And not in that, creepy way of physical, but really appreciate women, cherish women, respect women, right? I think you would be thinking about these things. Let's do these on top, just like we did yesterday. Who is this divine masculine? You would be really contemplating of what does it mean to be a true man? What? Too many. Okay, we have two. Repression, message of guidance, 22 and 36. I feel like I'm onto something. I feel like what I'm hearing with this repression and message of guidance, I'm hearing that there would be a lot of chauvinistic, toxic, masculine, distorted masculine energy around you, right? So men who would that kind of energy that it's like they would seem to an outside very wounded and unconscious observer that they like women because they like company of women, but in reality they like women as objects. They don't have respect. They don't value women truly. They control, they dominate. They create this separation. They create this difference. You would be thinking about these things. Maybe even for some of you, I'm hearing in the concept of your father and your mother, right? Maybe you had a father or a masculine figure is when you were growing up that was, I'm hearing, very ladies kind of a man, as they say, that that he would like the ladies and the ladies would like him, but there's no real liking in there. It's treating women like objects, wanting something from them, and entertainment, fun. There's no true respect. If there was respect, especially if that person was in a relationship with an actual woman, be your mother or someone in your family, where's that liking? Where's the liking? Where's that respect? I feel this being your first card, your ruling energy, you would be thinking a lot right now about feminine and masculine dynamics. How how maybe even you reach that conclusion that most men that they don't really like women. And again, it's an issue in our society. It comes from father wound, from mother wound, from inappropriate models of relationships as we grow up. It's like, it seems like we want each other and we want these relationships, but we don't have respect towards each other. Distorted women as well. They're controlling, they're obsessive, they constantly, I always say this, it's what kills every relationship. The constant bickering, the constant nagging, the constant, complaining. And there's something that's coming to my mind, and there's a reason it's coming to my mind. A couple of weeks ago, I went to this restaurant and I was waiting for my friend. So I was sitting alone at the table and there was this lady talking to someone else, and she was complaining on her husband. Oh, he's just horrible. He just sits on his couch. He does nothing. He just watches TV. I have to come here on my own. I'm sorry, lady. Who are you complaining on? A person who lives their life the way they want to, which they have all the right to do, or you yourself that you're staying in a relationship that is not fulfilling? How can you be in a relationship with someone that you have no respect for? And we see this everywhere. People constantly complaining, either out loud or in their mind. Oh my God, I cannot believe this man. I cannot believe this woman. Why she does this? Why he does this? Like laughing one at each other, humiliating each other, ridiculizing each other. I see this a lot, especially, in chauvinistic men who laugh at women for not knowing certain things that, related to like repairs and cars. It's like, you're useless, right? And then women laugh that they don't know things about, cooking and cleaning the house. It's like, it's ridiculous. What kind of love is this? What kind of friendship is this? If you have a need to humiliate the other person, to show your superiority. There's a reason all these things are coming to my mind. So maybe it was dynamics in your family. It's not true partnership. Laughing at someone, and I always say this, it's with this bullying as well. Those people that laugh at you and they're like, don't be so serious, it's just a joke. Do you see me laughing? Why would be a joke to ridiculize that I don't know something or that I don't, why? Why? Show me a person on the face of the planet that knows it all. And usually people who laugh at you at these things, they're freaking losers. They know nothing. They've been nowhere. Okay. That's usually how it works, because a person who's truly, educated and well-mannered and has been around the world and saw different things, experienced different things, They know that there's so much out there that you wouldn't laugh at someone that they don't know how to change their oil in a car, or how to fix a tire, or how to cook a meal, or whatever. Do you know what I mean? It's the internal need within you to ridiculous someone and to humiliate someone because of the differences, instead of cheer each other up. Behind the mask, karmic relationships. Karmic relationships. So you would be thinking how karmic relationships in your life put you behind that mask, pushed you into being a person that you're really not. Message of freedom. Unboxing, that's on top of that, unboxing abundance. And we have help, master of destiny, victim of fate. You have masculine and feminine energy. I feel like you're still on a journey of healing, this collective. We have communication at the bottom of the deck, so maybe you're thinking about, but I think that for this collective, it's funny, yesterday collectives, it was really strong in their energy, right? It was really strong, that wanting to communicate to the feminine. I feel like in this collective, you would be more focused on certain realizations in your life, the feminine masculine dynamics, also the quality of your life, that maybe you're realizing that you made certain choices, you surrounded yourself with some karmic relationships that you had to fake, that you have to wear a mask, and it sort of pushed you into a life that you really didn't wanna live. And I'm looking at this message of freedom. You know why? Because message of freedom, you know how I always say that there's a divine, that masculine is on this journey. They fear commitment, they fear relationships because they associate love with distorted feminine, that we're controlling, manipulative, because of this dynamics that you were taught, that it's not really partnership, that it's really like, why are we even doing this if we don't even like each other, right? Or respect each other or cherish each other. You started associating relationships, love, with something that is not good, with something that is not, do you know what I mean? So it's like, now you would start to realize, I feel it wouldn't be very heavy on your energy just yet, but maybe you will start to realize that it's really always you that cages you. I always say this, love is beautiful, true love doesn't cage. And even if you are in a karmic, codependent relationship, it is always you. It is always you who agrees to remain in that relationship, to allow someone to cage you. For as long as someone doesn't literally, shoves you into their basement and locks the key, it is you who chooses to be locked and encaged. You know what I mean? And with that help, I feel like those thoughts would be a bit heavy on your mind right now. You would feel like you want to do better. I am hearing a bit of a cry for help, right? So I don't want to say, I don't think this collective, maybe you do go to therapy. Maybe you do have someone to talk to about these things, which would be, a beautiful thing. But I feel it's more like I need to help myself. I need to help myself with all this. I can change. It's this moment of realization that a breakthrough can happen, but I have to push myself. Now the question is, will you? Right? All right. February, I just heard February. Maybe it's an important month for this collective. Okay, let's do some tarot on where's your current energy at? Where are you feeling? How you're feeling? Where's your energy right now? Where's your energy right now? What's going on? One more. Yeah, that's what I was thinking. We have Ace of Swords. We have Six of Cups. We have Hermit. I was hearing something specific with this one, and we have Ace of Pentacles. So I've mentioned this to you, and I'm hearing this right now, and I'm confirming. Despite the fact that you are thinking about female male dynamics and relationships, yesterday's collective, they're in this place when they're thinking about their feminine, returning to their feminine, wanting to talk to their feminine, right? So it's already closer. You, this collective, obviously on this journey, we always think about our counterpart, because from the moment of activation, as we meet in the physical, our energy body is sort of a blend, and the imprint of the energy body of that person stays with you all the time, 24/7. It's like they're with you in a room always, no matter what happens. But right now, you wouldn't be thinking about returning to your feminine. You wouldn't be thinking about wanting to talk to her. It's an important detail, so that part don't make this fit. You would really, although you are contemplating on relationships, you having a lot of revelations, you having a lot of awakenings of the mind, I'm hearing. You wouldn't want any kind of serious relationship right now. Right? And that Hermit I was hearing about, so I don't feel this collective you would be dating, right? So again, masculines, you operate in a very different way. Your bodies are different. Your energy is different. So it's only natural that on this journey in separation, here and there, you do engage in, some shallow, short-term, physically based relationships, if you know what I mean. But right now, when it comes to actual like dating, looking for companionship, you wouldn't be in that place. You wouldn't be in that place. I feel you're more focused on your life, the quality of your life, things that you want to change. I feel it also goes to money, to career, to abundance. So you would be thinking about these things a lot. And I feel there's also a lot of nostalgia with that Six of Cups. I'm hearing a lot of nostalgia. So you would be thinking again a lot about your family, certain things, how they were. It's one of the first stages of true healing, that we wake up to the fact that the way our parents did things wasn't the way that all people do it, wasn't the right way necessarily, right? Most of us deal with distorted parents, distorted feminine, distorted masculine. Very few people on this world have parents that don't transfer father-mother wound onto them. You would really have to have two divine parents from the moment you're born, divine feminine, divine masculine, divine union, whether it's between, so if your parents are not twin flames or higher soulmates in union, you're going to have some sort of a father wound and mother wound, right? But we think this is the way it is, this is the way it functions, because as children, we're programmed to think that how our parents live our life, this is how it's supposed to be. And only few of us get to that point to really like, shit, it's not how it's supposed to be. So you would be going back in your mind, traveling back in time right now. Maybe you're having a lot of memories on how your parents treated each other, how they interacted with each other, or adults in when you were a child in general in your family. I'm hearing some cultural things as well, maybe some cultural things. 10 of Cups. I'm hearing, I would want more, but I'm hearing for all these family, contemplation on family. I feel like this collective, shadows, the devil. I feel like this collective for a very long time, maybe you didn't want to be in a relationship, or you didn't want to have a, like a committed relationship or a family, because you associated that model of a family that you had, whether that's your parents or your uncles or, grandparents. It's like you saw them in relationships that weren't really supportive, partner for fulfilling, and you're like, why would I want to have that? You started associating that distorted model with love. Do you know what I mean? Which is not true, because again, as children, we don't realize that our parents are distorted. They always have a level of distortion. I'm thinking that also you would be starting to realize how that upbringing and how those relationships when you were a child influenced who you are now. I am hearing avoidance, so maybe you even started, doing a little research. Because again, I always say this to you guys: avoidant people don't know that they're avoidant. Anxious people don't know that they're anxious because they're patterns, right? So when we, anxious people, for example, when we send a 20th message to someone who's not responding, we're not thinking that I'm distorted and I'm anxious. We're thinking that we're trying to show care and love and really make an effort. Avoidant people, when they ghost and escape, they're not thinking that they, hurting someone. They're just thinking that they don't want something, and they choose freedom, and they choose their boundaries, right? And they have the right not to engage in further conversation. So it's a distortion, it's a pattern, it's a behavioral pattern that we subconsciously repeat. If we knew that we were like that, it wouldn't have been a pattern. And the moment of awareness, it becomes a choice. From the moment you're avoidant, you're anxious, it becomes a choice. And this is where the healing can start. So I feel like maybe you started really educating yourself about, this is the way I am in relationships. Okay, maybe it seems like it is a bit of avoidance. Where does it come from? And this is where you start to read, and all the childhood traumas that you went through, sort of a tick all the boxes. Knight of Cups. Hold on. I want for the Ace of Pentacles, and then I will want to clarify that with one more, because Queen of Pentacles. Okay. That's confirmation. You would be, your key focus right now will be on you, your growth, your progress. So maybe trying to think how to grow your career, how to maybe certain courses or trainings. Maybe you want to go back to school. You would be thinking about really focusing on. I want to clarify that Knight of Cups. Nine of Cups. We have a lot of cups here. Maybe you are a water sign, Scorpio, Pisces, Cancer, or I'm thinking as well that you would be quite emotional right now, but you still want to numb it, I feel. You still want to numb it. So remember how I said that, you wouldn't be thinking about relationships and returning to your feminine. I'm hearing it's not necessarily entirely true. It's just that, again, in yesterday's collective, there was this actual energy of like literally already hovering over a phone. Like, I want to do it. Like, I want to message her. I want to move back to her. I want to talk to her, right? I know this is it. I know she's my woman. Whereas for this collective, you wouldn't yet be in a complete state of, I know I'm on a journey. I know this is the other half of my soul. There's just a person, your feminine, that's been on your mind for a very long time, and she causes a lot of emotion. So although you have no actual physical plan and intention anytime in the future to come forward, right now you wouldn't feel like this is the time, you wouldn't feel like this is the place, but it's like you would dream it in your heart. right? So maybe in difficult moments, and because you're having a lot of contemplation as well about um, how a healthy relationship should look like. Remember we said that you're comparing like your relationships of your parents, and maybe you're also looking at your past relationship. So that's, I feel like for this collective, there's been like this